Roman Reigns to return with Monster Attack. 4 stars, 2 new champs crowned. 4 predictions for WWE RAW SmackDown after Night of Champions 2025. Hello guys. Welcome back to my channel. I am Jennifer. Have a nice day. For the WWE family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Following a spectacular Night of Champions 2025, fans are eagerly waiting for the Fallout episode of WWE RAW and SmackDown this week. The company has announced a stacked card for the Red Brands show tonight. WWE will also be taping this week's SmackDown immediately after Raw tonight, which will air on July 4th. From epic returns to surprise title changes to new storylines, fans should expect some big things to unfold on both shows. The following piece will cover 4 bold predictions for WWE RAW and SmackDown after Night of Champions 2025. The New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods will defend the World Tag Team Championship against the Judgment Day's Finn Balor and JD McDonough on tonight's WWE RAW. However, Kingston and Woods may lose their titles due to interference from Roxanne Perez with Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. Currently out with an injury, Perez could make her presence felt during the title match to help the Judgment Day. The former NXT star could distract the New Day, leading to Balor and JD taking advantage of the situation to become new champs. Cody Rhodes won the King of the Ring tournament at Night of Champions 2025. The American Nightmare will now challenge John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Following a spectacular win, Rhodes could appear on this week's SmackDown to address the fans. The American Nightmare could vow to dethrone the Nation leader before calling him out. This potential angle could lead to a potential confrontation between the duo. Solo Sikoa prevailed over Jacob Fatu due to interference from JC Mateo, Tonga Loa, and Tala Tonga to win the United States Championship at Night of Champions 2025. The Street Champion could potentially appear on this week's SmackDown to celebrate his big win. However, he could be interrupted by an irate Jacob Fatu. The Samoan werewolf could attack Solo and his new bloodline, only to be outnumbered by the heels. This potential angle could lead to Jimmy USO showing up to make the save. Sami Zayn and Penta will take on Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker in a tag match on WWE RAW tonight. However, potential interference from Seth Rollins during the match seems a no-brainer. The Visionary could interfere to help his team emerge victorious. Afterward, the heels could gang up on Sami and Penta, launching a brutal post-match attack. This potential angle could lead to Roman Reigns' return. The OTC, who has been on a hiatus since WWE RAW after WrestleMania 41, could return to help Sami and Penta even the odds against Seth's faction. However, Reigns may not return alone. The Tribal Chief could return with his own muscle, Zilla Fatu. The 25-year-old is the son of the late legend Umaga and has made a name for himself in the independent circuit. Roman Reigns could introduce him as his new enforcer tonight on WWE RAW. The duo could appear to save Sami Zayn and Penta by taking out Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. Zoo's back on top as one of the biggest wrestling promotions in the world. And honestly, it's thanks to a whole bunch of things. Legendary superstars, epic entrance music, wild storylines, you name it. But there's one piece of the puzzle that doesn't always get the credit it deserves: the signature moves. Classics like the RKO, Tombstone, and Stunner have become iconic. And then there's the Spear. Tons of wrestlers have tried their hand at it over the years, but only a few have truly nailed it and made it their own. Over the years, tons of WWE superstars have given the Spear a shot, hoping to make it their signature move. But honestly, no one's done it quite like Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker. These two didn't just use the Spear, they mastered it and pushed it to a whole new level. That said, their styles couldn't be more different. Roman's Spear is all about finesse and precision. It matches his in-ring style, calculated, smooth, and perfectly timed. Every time he hits it, it feels like a technical masterpiece. Then there's Braun Breaker, who's basically the opposite. His Spear is just raw power and pure chaos. It's like he's trying to blast his opponent straight through the ring. Just look at what happened when he hit Ice Show Speed at Royal Rumble 2025. Dude almost got split in two. So, who's got the better Spear? Honestly, it depends on what you're into. Roman's sleek and deadly strike, or Breaker's brutal, deadly hit? Different vibes, same impact. Your pick. But when it boils down to the most brutal spear, we all know the answer is unanimous. Comment down below. Who do you think it is? While we're out here debating who's got the best spear, The Undertaker isn't losing any sleep over it. For him, there's no hesitation. It's Braun Breaker, hands down. On a recent episode of his podcast, 6 Feet Under, the dead man gave Breaker's version of the move some serious praise, calling it straight-up lethal after witnessing Breaker land the move on speed. I said, they should take the spear from everybody else. I know there's probably some people that probably take exception to that, but I was like, man, that should be his solely. Dude, his head almost hit his feet. When Braun Breaker hit that spear on speed, The Undertaker said he and his whole family jumped out of their seats, and honestly, who could blame them? The clip blew up online, and the impact alone made it feel like Breaker was launching someone into another dimension. Let's be real, stepping into the ring with Braun isn't for the faint of heart. You need serious strength and stamina just to survive a match with that guy. As for me, and clearly the dead man too, we're both putting our money on Braun Breaker for having the most brutal spear in the game. Talk about the oddest collection of performers to put together. The Street Fighter movie is beginning to shape its fighter selection screen, and the latest round of casting is a doozy. Deadline recently reported that Capcom's video game adaptation cast comedian Andrew Schultz in the role of Dan Hibiki. Additionally, rapper-turned-actor Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has joined, with THR reporting that he'll play Balrog. In that same report, it was also confirmed that Roman Reigns, the WWE superstar, will play Akuma. After it was long rumored he'd be joining the cast in the role, these new recruits joined the previously cast Andrew Koji, Noah Centineo, Jason Momoa, and Orville Peck. Kalina Liang is also a recent addition, playing one of the most iconic characters in Chun-Li. Legendary Entertainment's feature adaptation of the classic Capcom video game comes from director Kitao Sakurai, The Eric Andre Show. Legendary is co-developing and co-producing alongside Capcom. Plot. Details are being kept in under wraps, and production begins this August in Australia. What do you make of these recent Street Fighter additions? From Hollywood funny men to country music stars, there's something for everyone here, and it does a lot to reflect the eclectic group featured in the games. Who is your favorite casting? Let us know by reaching out to us on our social channels. WWE RAW tonight on Netflix will be the aftermath episode of the Red Brand following Night of Champions 2025. The premium live event in Saudi Arabia witnessed many ups and downs, as well as title changes. Raw after anoa'i is set to take place at PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In this article, we will discuss 5 things that could happen on Monday Night Raw this week. After WWE Night of Champions, John Cena remains the undisputed WWE champion. The franchise player overcame all odds and defeated CM Punk, while also managing to escape from a Seth Rollins MITB cash-in attempt. However, in this process, Cena attacked WWE official Charles Robinson to prevent Rollins' machinations. Though the Cenation leader was able to save his title, his action might have repercussions. The Raw general manager, Adam Pearce, might suspend the last real champion for attacking an official figure. Cena has been advertised to appear on the July 18, 2025 episode of SmackDown Next. This angle could help WWE to write him off television in the intervening period. Seth Rollins' villainous faction continues to dominate the Red Brand. Roman Reigns' name was chanted at Night of Champions, but the OTC didn't make his return. According to the latest reports, the return of the head of the table is expected to take place soon, ahead of SummerSlam 2025. Reigns might probably return on tonight's Raw in a segment with the Visionary. Here, Roman might initially pretend to be on the side of Seth by having a reunion with his former Shield member. However, later in the night, the OTC can exhibit his true colors and take out the entire faction. This will set the stage for SummerSlam 2025 for a feud between the ex-Shield members. Over the past few weeks, Pat McAfee has been missing from the commentary table. The 38-year-old star disclosed that he was feeling pretty exhausted, which forced him to take time off from WWE television. Meanwhile, on Raw this week, McAfee might decide 3 weeks was a long enough break and return to commentary duties, reuniting with Michael Cole. This gains credence, especially as he'd noted on his show that he felt the gap between Money in the Bank and Night of Champions PLE was a good time to take a break. Due to Liv Morgan's injury, Raquel Rodriguez is the sole title holder of the Women's Tag Team Championship. There are already reports of Roxanne Perez replacing Morgan in the storyline and joining hands with the Judgment Day. This raises the possibility of Perez becoming the new Women's Tag Team Champion on the Red brand. This scenario could unfold when Finn Balor convinces Raquel to hand over the title to Roxanne. The alternate option, if she doesn't do the same, could be relinquishing the gold dot. Considering this, Rodriguez might hand the title to the 23-year-old star, making her one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. Asuka failed to defeat Jade Cargill in the Queen of the Ring tournament final at Night of Champions 2025. Despite the loss, the Empress of Tomorrow is still expected to clash against Io Sky at WWE SummerSlam 2025. To plant seeds for this bout, fans could witness Asuka's heel turn on Raw tonight. This later leads to the former Damaged CTRL member attacking the Genius of the Sky to set the stage for a title match at the biggest party of the summer.